everybody, welcome back to another episode of A Gardener's Journey Homestead. I am Barbara. Welcome to my tunnel. Today it is beautiful, absolutely beautiful out here. It's like 70 degrees. Yes, in November. Last week was quite cold, quite chilly, and this week is going to be very warm. Like one day it's going to get up to the 80s. So if you're new here, I'm in zone 7A in the state of Tennessee, and it's amazing how nice it is. And I'll tell you, I told you, I think if I can't remember which video you'll see in order, but we took the shade cloth off of our tunnel, and let me tell you, it makes a huge difference. In the tunnel, it's 99 degrees. But when I tell you the plants are getting all the sun they can handle, they are getting all the sun that they can handle. So what we're doing today, I thought I would bring you along. This is literally the last day before we leave when I'm shooting this. So we're about to go out of the country. This is the absolute last day before we leave. And so today's goal is to get everything that is on my table into the ground. That is the goal. And I've recruited some help. I got my son down here. I told him, son, I need your back. Mommy needs your back because I cannot pull anything before I leave, and nor do I want to get on the plane limping and crimping. So that's what we're doing today. So let me take you into the tunnel and let's get started. So this is half of what we have left to plant. So right there, I got collard greens that I bought as a transplant. They desperately need to go into the ground. And this is stuff that I've already planted, that I sowed myself. They've been in pots for quite some time. And then I have a whole nother tray down there, but you can see that some of the insects have gotten some of these. But like this right here, I mean, you can see the roots and stuff are growing out. I don't even remember what this is. I think this is broccoli rabe. We're gonna get in the ground. It's gonna be a mystery and it's gonna be a surprise. First bed we're working with is the lettuce bed. It's has a few extra spaces. So I have 3 cilantros that I started as seed that my son is going to put out. You can see we got the cups positioned there. And he's going to go ahead and plant these 3 cilantro in this bed. Also, my husband will be down here later to help finalize and work on the drip as well before we go. So my son's going to get these cilantros in the ground. So we got the cilantro in the ground there. 3 little seedlings. So they're there. Hopefully they'll be growing by the time I come back. And so now we are just removing the hoops from the bed because we're going to use these down in the part that's in the ground. So he's just laying those on the table. So we're going to plant our next set of stuff in here. This is where I took up the bok choy. And so we got some empty space in there that we're going to plant some more stuff. So let's get the stuff that we're going to plant there. So next, we're putting some cabbages in here. These, again, are cabbages that I started from seed. I had up-potted them into a bigger thing, which was good because they've been up-potted now for 2 weeks. So at least gave them some more space to grow. But you can see my son. Just pull it up, son. Gently. Closer to the base. Okay, the bottom. Come from the bottom and try to loosen it. Yeah. Turn it over and pull gently. I had showed him one to do and mine came out real easy. I guess his isn't. Here, just dump that in. Stand it up like it was in the pot. Yeah, and then just cover it up like I did the other one. So you can see this bed is looking really good. We've had the insect netting off for the last 48 hours. No damage. And really, the broccoli, as you can see on the right hand side, is getting too tall to really keep the insect netting on. I really hate to leave with no insect netting, but I'm at a point where there's not much I can do. Selfishly, in a perfect world, it would have been great if it was going to be very, very cold while we're gone for 2 weeks. That would be the ideal because I could lock the tunnel down, like have the sides down, front and back closed like we did last week when it was so cold. That would be the ideal because at least I could go away with peace of mind knowing no insects can get in. But it's going to be too hot for me to leave the tunnel open for the time that we're gone. So I know that the whole first week it's like really warm here. So the tunnel will be open Again, I don't know if the insects are gone because cold has come and left, or if they'll just come back out. I don't know. I'm just going to do a whole lot of praying and pray that the Lord protect the crops. So we got those in. So that's done. So the next thing is to move on to this other tray that we have. And though that kind of stuff is going to go in the ground. So let me show you where we're headed next. Next on the list before we plant in this row, we need to get the rest of the tomatoes done. So these are all the tomatoes that we picked before the first frost, and you can see what the frost did to them. So we're going to cut these down, take them out, and get ready to plant this row here. So we're going to do that, and we'll be ready to plant. The next set of plants that I need to put out, you can see there is some purpling going on, so it's lacking probably some phosphorus. That's usually what that means, but you can see it's been in the cup for a very long time. It just needs to be planted. I'm assuming it'll still be fine. I'm almost positive it'll still be fine, but in case it isn't, then we'll just redo some more seeds when we hit back. That's the beauty of it. You can always start more seeds, but these have desperately needed to go into the ground. I started all these from seeds. They are probably at least a month old. They may even be 6 weeks old. So we're going to get them in the ground and fertilize them, and hopefully they will bounce back and grow. So while me and my son are doing this, hubby is laying the drip tape for the last 3 beds on this side. This is by DripWorks. We're not a complete fan of it just because it comes out very little, not even slow, like very minute. So it takes a lot to wet the bed, but it's going to be better than not having drip. So he's setting it up. Honey, is it pretty relatively easy?
Oh yeah, simple.
So I'm thinking he just cuts the length of the bed, places it down there. It comes with these little silver hooks to kind of secure it. And then there's some piece, I don't know if you can see it, like on the edge of the bed there. Is that, I don't even know what you call that. It's that piece. Main line, okay. But y'all, do y'all see that green? Is that stuff not looking good? Poppin'. It is popping. So then my son is still busy on this row. We're pretty much at least halfway down the row. There's even, I kind of started at the end and came up towards him. So we probably have 75% of this row done, but we still have more plants to go. So I'm gonna put out some more plants. Okay, y'all, this whole row is done. Do y'all know how long I've been waiting and trying to get this last row done? So we still have plants left. And so now we're gonna go to the opposite side, all the way over to your right. You see where those empty holes are? Okay, that's where we're going. So we're gonna go all the way over there. I'll bring the camera and meet you guys over there. Okay, we have about 10 to 12 holes on this row that have not been planted. So I don't know how many plants we have left, but I know that we have enough for this row. We'll probably still have a few plants left over. And if that's the case, then I got a few more on that row. You can't really see it, that still needs some spaces. So I definitely have enough space for the plants that I have left, but we're almost done. Okay, so y'all saw me just kind of laying the plants out. We're trying to work together kind of as a team to make it as efficient as possible. You see my son got my bench. Now, how does his 15-year-old back need a bench? Okay, but that just goes to show you, y'all, gardening is hard work. It is not for the faint of heart. At least it make me feel better that my son's like, oh, let me get this bench after he did that row, because I'm 3 times his age and need a bench. So at least maybe I'm not doing too bad. But anyway, he's looking at me like, really, Mom? Okay, so what I didn't say is that my son has a pot, like what we've done before. In his pot that he's backfilling with is some potting soil and some alfalfa meal and some kelp meal. So that's what we're using to fertilize the hole itself. Our tractor is still not fixed. So we have not been able to get compost. Matter of fact, I do have a bag of compost, but at this late in the game, I didn't want to try to open that bag. Anyway, we're not doing all that. So that's what he's backfilling with. So I laid out all the plants for this row, and guess what? I still have plants left. So I'm gonna go to the next row and start laying plants out. Whatever I have left, it is getting in the ground today, because if I leave it on my table, it's not gonna be watered, it's gonna die. So even though some of them don't look the best, they have a better chance of being in the ground than staying on the table. So we are almost at the finish line. After this, I'm gonna fertilize, water everything really good, and then fertilize, and then I will be so happy to check this off my list. But we're not done yet. Y'all, it is done. It is done. It is done. Every seedling that I have is in the ground, except some snapdragons that I started, but they're so tiny, so little. They're too fragile to probably go in the ground. And I really started those too late. They should have already been up to size by now. I don't know if they'll make it anyway. And then I have some scallions that I started in a pot. I may find a place for them to go. If not gonna worry about it. Everything else is in the ground. I had just enough of the seedlings that were mature. I had just enough holes to put all of those in the ground. So what we're doing now is putting hoops down so that we can cover with insect netting, so that Mr. Rabbit or whoever's been in my tunnel won't have a field day. We'll at least cover the stuff that's in the ground with insect netting. Okay guys, so you saw us laying out the fabric for that row. I'm short like 2 hoops for this other row on this side, that half a row that we did. I really need like 2 more rows so we can cover it with the insect netting. But right now I don't have 2 more hoops. I have taken all the hoops from the raised bed, so that's done. The only other thing now is to widen the space in between some of these and steal from somewhere else. Not quite sure, but the next thing is to fertilize. I'm going to fertilize while I still have the insect netting off. So I stopped my son, instead of us putting the insect netting on, we're going to fertilize so we can get it really good. Then we'll put the insect netting on. I've already watered everything. So the only thing left to do is to fertilize everything in the tunnel, put the insect netting on and secure it, figure out how I'm going to do this row. And then that's it. I think hubby is still doing the raised beds. I think he's on his next to last bed. The time has changed, so it's about to get dark, like in probably 20-30 minutes. So that's what we have left to do. I'm going to fill up the fertilizer and fertilize real good. I'm going to fertilize with worm castings, Rev. I've showed you guys that before, which is a great mineral. Some Ultra, which is a probiotic, and some Regalia, which helps build up the plant's immune system. So that should be really good food and nutrition for the plants while we are gone. But it's been a team family effort this afternoon. I just want to say thank you guys for joining me. I'm gonna go ahead and end it now so I can move with the quickness as we try to wrap up before it gets dark in the next 20-25 minutes. And you guys have seen me do the fertilization before. So this is what it looks like when you're trying to literally get it all done right before you leave. But I feel so accomplished. So accomplished, because literally everything is in the ground, which is what I wanted. So thank you guys for coming along with us today, cheering us on. I'm so thankful to my hubby and my husband, my hubby and my son for helping me down here. When you see this video, please say a prayer for us. Either we will be on the way to Australia or we'll already be there. I'm not quite sure when this video will play, but what I do know is that I won't be here when you see it. So whenever you see this video, please say a prayer for us, and I'll see you guys when I'm back in the garden. Until next time, remember, gardening is a journey. Let's grow together. I'll see you next time, friend.